Hey everybody, Joe Vizio here. Kind of just going to take a little walk around my yard here and talk to this camera a little bit and kind of clear my head some, Anxiety's kind of getting to me over here. I made a video yesterday. My daughter was combing my mother's hair. I kind of wanted to take that and post that just so, she would have it. Because, my mother really wasn't that person that I knew to my daughter. She had her moments, but my daughter loves her grandmother, and her grandmother loves her. And that's kind of what I just want her to be able to remember. So we've had hospice over, and they're kind of handling the game now. There'll be no more 911. There'll be no more emergency room. There'll be no more cancer doctors. There'll be nothing else but hospice. And they have her set up with the bed over here. Everything that she needs. They told her yesterday when she was somewhat conscious that, not to take any more of the medications that were given to her, the high blood pressure, the water pills, the insulin, all that stuff, because she just doesn't need it anymore. They've been giving her a pretty strong dosage of liquid morphine, along with some Xanax for the anxiety. Can probably use to take one of them myself. And it's happening. We said that it was going to happen fast. And unfortunately, I wasn't lying, because it is upon us now. Hospice is, giving my mother just a couple days, if that. They said that, things can happen. It's not an exact science. But these people are pretty well trained in what they do, and they know the signs of what it looks like when a person is dying. And my mother is showing most of them signs. So here I am at the end of that road. I told you this was going to be a journey. Just kind of walking around my yard here. My pump broke, so my pool's a little green. The pump didn't break, the filter broke, but here's the rest of my yard. This place is pretty important to us because we have a lot of family connection back here. Do a lot of family gatherings. And that's something that I never had my whole life. And I know a lot of you feel the same. So creating something like this, it was pretty important for me to be able to have the family get together and for the kids to run around in the yard and play and go in the pool and play. It was important for me to see that, and important for me to know that these memories are going to stick with these kids. So, I guess I come out here now for a little sanctuary. So, my mother's in my master bedroom right now, laying in a hospital bed, kind of breathing what is her last breaths. Not trying to sound dramatic, I'm just calling it as it is. And as much as I thought I was prepared, I'm still not really prepared, because you know, a lot of things coming back on me, but not so much the bad stuff. Now here it is at her final days, is when I can think of the good stuff. You know, the first baseball team I ever played on, we were so bad. We didn't win a game all year until the coach quit. We probably had like 2 or 3 games left in the season, and the coach just quit. Because we knew when we showed up at the baseball field or where we were going to play, and the umpire and the other team said, well, your coach already called ahead and forfeited the game. Well, my mom wasn't going to hear that. And she stood up and she had the scorebook, and she told us kids to get out onto the field and play. And technically, the game was a forfeit. We lost. But as we played, that was the first game that we ever won. Again, we didn't really win, but we scored more points than the other team did in a forfeit. I was telling that to my mother as she was laying in her bed, kind of gargling. And when I said, do you remember that, I distinctly heard her say, uh-huh. That video that I made of my daughter combing her hair, what you're seeing there, and where she was awake, that was the last time that I smoked pot with my mother. She had been just kind of curling herself up in pain, and you can see that the anxiety was just driving her crazy. And I would go in and I would smoke a little bit of pot with her. And she kind of normalized for a little while. It's no miracle. But it just normalized her enough for my daughter to have that one last moment with her. Which is why I wanted to record it, because I knew it would be the last. My daughter's not staying here right now. She's with her other grandmother, and she will be over there for the next few days, because I don't want her to witness what is about to happen. Yesterday, which was the day that I had taken the video, before I had taken that video, she was doubled over in pain so bad. She was crying uncontrollably. And she kept telling me that she wants it to be over. She wants to die. She wants to be over. She wants to rest. And I asked her if she wanted to go over to the hospital. And she said yeah. So we called our friends over at 9/11. They came out and they got her. And she was in the hospital for about 2 hours before they called me and told me that I needed to come get her. And when I went over there, she's laying in the bed. She's pretty much covered in her own feces. The nurses there are saying that they ran a scan, there's nothing new, so they have to send her home. And then the doctor comes up to talk to me and asks me if everything is okay. I said, I mean, didn't even give her anything for pain. You see how much pain she's in right now. You guys can't even give her some. Oh, well, I gave her a prescription for Loratab, 5 milligram Loratab, which is kind of like an M&M compared to what this woman's had to take and what she's been through. So, Dr. Cross from over at the DeLand Hospital, he hasn't heard the last of me. I just walked out of there quietly with my mother. And then, we brought her home. My wife showered her up, get her all cleaned up. We got her comfortable. Smoked a little bit with her to kind of normalize her. And she got to sit there with my daughter for a little bit. And here we are. She's not conscious, she's not anything. I did yesterday. She was sitting out in the living room. We had just walked in the door from the hospital. I had to roll all the windows down in my van because the smell was so overpowering. We brought her in the house and she sat down, and my wife told me, you need to prepare her to, I'm gonna give her a bath. And and I told her, I said, Mom, we don't think that you're dirty or anything. You're sick, and we need to do this. And she agreed. And then with my wife by my side, I told my mother that everything that happened, and that I understand that we both had a rough life, and that we both had our reasons for whatever happened, whatever your opinion is of it, none of that's important right now. So that what is important is that I forgive you, and that I understand. And she told me that she loved me. And she said that, yes, she did have a rough life. And she said that I was always in her thoughts. Now, as people who have survived this type of behavior from our parents, we kind of know what it means to be in your thoughts and prayers and all that kind of stuff. Makes a good greeting card, but at that time, I just accepted whatever I could have, and I told her it was all right. And that was the last coherent conversation that I had with her. So things are going to get pretty messy, probably over the next 48 hours. I hope it happens fast. And I think you guys understand what I mean by saying that I hope it happens fast. Because all in all, what she's been through in her whole life, what I've been through, what we've all been through, I kind of just want my mother to be able to rest. Just rest easy. Not have to worry about what bill collector's going to come over and shut something off because they want their money. I don't want her to worry about any of that. Just go to sleep. And maybe sometime across the universe somewhere we'll meet again. That's all. So, as I'm kind of coming to a end of one part of my journey here, and I'll be able to put this to rest. You know, I still have some things that I'm going to need to talk about. But I'll be back in here as soon as I can. And, you know, for you guys to keep doing what you're doing. And, you know, I know with a lot of you, your thoughts and prayers are with me. And I do deeply appreciate that, because I know where it's coming from. And I know it's coming from somebody that's just like me, that has seen what I've seen and knows what I know. So, yeah, I accept all your thoughts and prayers. And having said the words to my mother that I forgive her, I can't say that there's no groundbreaking, soul-wrenching relief or anything like that. Maybe I'll feel that in the future. That kind of really wasn't so much for me. That was more for her, because I just want her to go in peace. That's all. So I'm going to go ahead and close this out, guys. And get back in there and, you know,